my people. I don't know I love man I watch this video. This Kenneth Okonkwo no just get joy. He no get peace for Bala Blue Bulaba and APC. He no get peace. He no get joy for Agbado Nation. Make una come see Woto. In short, the blast too much. Now no wait till there. Mona like follow this my page now. Like follow this my page NHTVNG. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel NHTV Hangout. Turn the notification bell so that anytime I drop video you get notification. Share the video, like the video. So Facebook and YouTube go recommend them for other people. Guys, when I watch this video, this is too much. I don't want to talk. As this guy sound rich, intelligent, rich. Now so him mouth no good. Mona listen to that. Mona snatch this video. Wrong with the share it. Make them see.
Regime has, with their policy, succeeding another terrible regime, all from the same party. They have destroyed the economic system of this country. They have ruined it. They have destroyed the political fabrics. The social well-being of Nigeria has been radically destroyed. And our political economy is practically non-existent, to the point that when Nigeria talks, even in international community, they will tell us, sit down. That if you cannot bring a legitimate government in power, what power do you have to tell another government that it is illegitimate? It has come to the level where Nigeria is now a mockery in the international community. And the saddest part is that it is a country that God has so blessed with the human and material resources that should make it a superpower nation rather than the poverty headquarters of the world. This is a leadership problem, and unfortunately it is getting worse.
But Kenneth, do you think is the way to go? This protest we are seeing now, Lagos, Kano, Oyo, Abuja. In fact, they brought out the gate of the National Assembly today. The protesters.
The only thing that evil needs to be perpetuated is for the good people to keep quiet.
Okay.
If you don't say I am, nobody will say thou art. When this government came in, the first thing they uttered was an illegal outburst where subsidy is gone.
How illegal? I keep saying, of course,
yes,
you are a lawyer. How illegal? The president has the powers to do that. Is it simply because what he said was not in the speech prepared for him?
No.
Okay.
There was already an existing law that said that fuel subsidy should go by the end of June.
Okay.
So you have no right to come to make a determination on your own or a speech that goes against that law. Simple. It's an appropriation by the National Assembly. It's an existing law.
And nobody is asking of where that money meant for to cover June is.
Good. That is why I'm telling you. So it started with illegality. And as you can see, when the people accepted that fuel subsidy should be removed, because
and the president was praised, I think, that day.
Good. Because they kept quiet, doing nothing. Within 2 months, the price that was already excruciating was increased by almost 100 naira. We are now buying fuel for 617 naira.
Yeah.
Why the increase? Let me tell you.
Okay.
In that speech, you heard this regime saying they've made a saving of 1 trillion naira.
Yes.
That is not true.
How? How do you know?
The 1 trillion naira is simply the extortion of Nigerians through the NNPC. You make savings from the excess of the profit you make when you're doing business, which you now save for the rainy day. What are they producing? What are they selling? The oil is imported 100%. So what happened is that the cost of their incompetence and dishonesty is now transferred to the Nigerian people to bear.
Oh, sad.
So that is why you're paying 617 naira. And the money they are making from it is what they are calling savings. Sorry, it is not savings. Because the exact amount of money that has always been shipped out of Nigeria for the betterment of the countries abroad, to build their refineries abroad, to give employment to the people abroad, in the name of importation of fuel, is still the exact amount of money that is going out, because you're still importing 100% of your fuel. The only difference is that it is now the poor Nigerians that are being extorted to make the 1 trillion naira.
Do you think the president is aware of this? Because he was the one who said 1 trillion naira, and he was giving figures.
Good.
That was why
the figures he gave
Nigerians,
has nothing to do with the 1 trillion naira. It is sharing the borrowed $800 million.
Now I'm referring to savings he claimed of 1
That's
trillion
what I've
naira.
told you, that it is not savings. It's the extortion they made from Nigerian people who are now the one paying for their incompetence and dishonesty. Because there is nothing new they are producing. They are importing the oil 100%, and they are now billing the Nigerian people to take all the bill from their incompetence and dishonesty. Why do I say dishonesty? You have 4 refineries lying waste from 1999.
Port Harcourt, Warri, Kaduna.
If you had repaired it, there wouldn't have been any need for subsidy in the first place. So Nigerians are paying for the corruption which the president said that a few powerful Nigerians have become so rich, they have amassed wealth so much that they have become a serious threat to the fairness of our economy
And
to
million.
the integrity of our democratic governance. That is absolutely correct.
Okay, but are you on the same page
Now,
with him that very few people are really getting rich?
Who is that rich, powerful person?
Okay, who is that powerful, rich person?
As far as I'm concerned, the president is the leader of them.
But he just came on board 2 months ago.
He was in power and in the corridors of power from 1999.
He has disputed that not once, not twice. He says since he left office in 2007, he never collected contract of 1 naira. He never held any political office.
Now, let's put it this way.
All right.
When a leader of a ruling political party tells you he has not held any political office in Nigeria, is he being honest? What is the most powerful political office you can hold, if not to be the leader of a political party? And he transcended to be the leader of the country. And he's still telling you he has not held any political office.
So you mean he's been economical with the truth?
He is in charge. He said, I single-handedly made Buhari president. And yet he has not held any political
And Buhari
office.
has not disputed this.
And he has not held any political office. He has been in charge of APC from 2015 till date. Whatever has happened in Nigeria, he should take absolute responsibility. If you are the one who single-handedly made somebody president, are you not part of his problem? And you inherited from him. Now, let's move into the main issue.
Yeah.
In that speech, a few powerful rich people are responsible for our problem.
As he said.
Good. You're one of the richest. You're one of the most powerful. Is
It's
that
an
not
allegation?
No.
Say he's one of the richest.
He said he has never collected any contract from government.
Exactly.
Yet, he ran a presidential campaign. And you're saying he's not rich? Alpha Beta collects the whole revenue of Lagos State. He was the governor of Lagos State. And it's not in doubt that he has been installing all the leadership in Lagos State to date. Since 1999. And you know what he said?
No.
He said that those few powerful rich people have become so powerful that they have become a threat to the fairness of the economy.
Is that just rhetorical?
If a single human being is collecting all the revenues of a state, is that not being unfair to the economy of that state? Lagos is the richest state in Nigeria, has the highest IGR, yet is the most indebted state in Nigeria. How do you reconcile that? I'm just trying to say that he is now the president of Nigeria.
Exactly.
Good. You know what happened in our last election? Where INEC itself confessed that they had a glitch only in the presidential election, meaning the integrity of our democratic governance is being threatened by these few powerful people. And yet he is the beneficiary of the democratic governance, which is questioned and which integrity is doubted by the whole world.
Okay.
The gentleman President Yar'Adua said that the process that brought him to power is flawed.
Yeah, he was the only president who did that, and we will go deep into the election tribunal in the course of the conversation. But I want us
this president has already confessed to it also.
All right.
Unfortunately, he did not notice it in the speech that was written for him, because he said the few powerful rich people are now affecting the integrity of our democratic
And you are saying he's part of that?
No, he is the beneficiary
of that
democratic governance whose integrity is being questioned worldwide, and which he has accepted that it is the few powerful rich people that are destroying the integrity of our election by his own speech.
Okay, I will come to that deeply, but I want us to dissect this speech. Do you think his last speech 2 days ago was responsible for what we witnessed today? Is it that it's not really inspiring, or he didn't resolve the problem? He has promised 3,000 vehicles. He has promised hundreds of billions into agriculture, into manufacturing, and all that. Why do you think Nigerians, led by Labour, which is actually part of your political party?
Led by Labour Union.
Labour Union, but Labour Union is also part of a Labour Party, I think.
No, I don't have a problem. You said it's not Labour Party that's leading it. The leadership of Labour Party.
Yeah, that is it.
But Labour Union.
So is it that they don't trust what he said in the speech, or there is no substance in what he said?
Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Why did he have to remove subsidy before making promises?
He said he has to do that in order to
Promises are not actions.
All other presidents could not do
promises.
That. Buhari could not do that.
No.
To some extent. Jonathan could not do that. We've been enjoying subsidies since 1977. Some said even earlier.
Good.
And he said he took the bull by the horn. And that was why he said, even though it was out of his speech, but he went all out and said, subsidy is gone.
Good. If subsidy is gone, if you are a wise leader that have the interest of the people in your heart, the palliatives, the conditions in the economy that should sustain the removal of subsidy ought to be there before you remove subsidy.
So it's like he set the cart before the horse.
This is a man that talks before he thinks. And that is terrible.
Wow.
In his last speech, all you heard were promises. No action. 2 months into your regime, and all you are still making promises. There is no power on earth that can compel a president to fulfill his promise.
Wow.
So there was nothing in that speech except an exposition of a transactional leader who is making empty promises of sharing money when actually he ought to be building the economy. There was nothing in that speech that talked about fixing our refineries. Whatever you may want to do, as long as you're importing fuel 100%, all you're going to do as far as the economy is concerned is waste. Now, you say you're removing subsidy. Now, you're extorting 1 trillion naira from Nigerian people. And you say you are sharing it again. And it will go through that same corrupt rich class. So, you extort the 1 trillion from them. You still give it back to the rich class to give the poor. And it will never get to them. If all the money that Buhari said he shared to Nigerian people. If all reached Nigerian people, they won't be talking about poverty today. Wow. Because I heard they were sharing almost 500 billion naira.
Yeah, so monthly. They said, yeah, through one of the ministries, yeah.
Now, yet 133 point something 3 million persons are suffering multidimensional poverty. And the first policy this president made, World Bank immediately said, you are going to send 7.1 million more Nigerians into poverty.
But they were the ones actually pushing for the removal of the subsidy. Don't you think they are also talking from both sides of their mouth?
They are not.
The international community.
They are not. It's a shame that a country that has oil flowing like river cannot refine their oil to have self-sufficiency and to export to other countries. Let me say this clearly.
Yeah.
There is nothing magical about strong currency. Strong currency is predicated on strong economy. And strong economy presupposes an industrial productive base and a steady export market. There is nothing that you can do if you don't have
strong economy.
Yes, strong productive base. You cannot have a steady export market.
So how far
and your currency will never
how far do you think this protest will go? And if you are to advise the government, what will you tell them to do immediately?
You know, the truth is that, like I told you, this is renewed hopelessness.
Not renewed hope.
The only thing I will advise this government to do, to stop this gradual descent into anarchy, is for the leader to resign.
Wow, you are calling for Tinubu to resign.
What else? I'll give you the reason. Liz Truss in Britain, the prime minister that came before Sunak, she made promises based on certain policies. She came in, implemented the policies. The economy was being ruined. Pound was being threatened. She saw it. Within 45 days, she resigned. Now, this government, the constitution said you should form a cabinet within 60 days. Within 60 days, they could not even form a cabinet.
No, he did, you know, on the eve, he submitted names.
Not on the eve, on the 60th day. First and foremost, that is already a breach of the law, because they did not say you should submit in the 60th day. They should say within 60 days you would have formed the cabinet. So you would have factored in even the screening process, because government is one, not three.
So are you now saying that what he did is a nullity?
I am saying that what he did is illegal, unconstitutional. I might not use the word nullity. Because as a lawyer, government cannot operate in a vacuum.
Okay.
Yes, but what he did is illegal and unconstitutional, and it goes to the roots of his competence, his capacity and character as a leader. Now, you said he met the 60 days. How come they are saying they are releasing another batch of nominees today? Is today still within 60 days? The constitution said every state should have a minister, and you must do it within 60 days.
So the constitution didn't make provision for piecemeal submission?
Not at all. Within 60 days, you would have formed your cabinet. Let me be very honest with you. When they made that law, I didn't know that a president who said his lifelong ambition is to be president, a president who said he will hit the ground running from the first day, a president who will remove fuel subsidy illegally from the first day, could not raise a cabinet within 60 days.
What, how do you mean?
Did not know
you think you expected him to do it
within 24 hours?
How? Why?
Oh, the 60 days they gave to you was not for the industrious, capable leaders. It is for the lazy leaders who are not capable. That's the 60 days grace. Why am I saying that? You have almost 3 months from the time you were declared a winner to prepare for your cabinet. Election was held when? 25th of February. The winner was declared 1st of March. How many months to May 29? March, April, May, almost 3 months. March 1st. So March, April, May 29, 3 months. So you already have 90 days. So you were not expected to spend 24 hours when you are a diligent president whose house is burning to raise a cabinet. And
so
then
you think assuming
it took another 2 months.
Assuming we don't
that
have
is
the,
5 months.
Yeah. Assuming we don't have the constitutional prohibition,
yes.
what do you think will happen? Do you think he will have done the minister?
In 1 year, we wouldn't have had the cabinet.
Sure.
He had to break the law and still had no cabinet. In 1 year, we wouldn't have had a cabinet. Thank God for that law. I didn't know it would ever be used again. I thought it was a law to tell Nigerians that they rejected everything about the leadership style of Buhari. I didn't know it was still going to protect Nigerians from incompetent and dishonest leadership as we are having now. 5 months.
That's an uppercut. But
5 months after being declared president. 5 months. You that is ready to hit the ground running, you couldn't raise a cabinet.
What do you think is responsible?
Incompetence. Dishonesty.
But I've never heard anyone
Searching
saying
for political...
Tinubu is incompetent, going by his...
I am saying it now, and it's staring you in the face. You met oil, 185 naira. Within 2 months, it's 617. Is that an eloquent speech for competence? You met exchange rate, 490, being bogus, because it might just be 450 official. Now it's about 800. Is that an eloquent speech on your competence? And now Nigerians cannot even go to work. They cannot afford the transport. Yet the minimum wage is still there, the same. I spent almost 50,000 naira to fill up the tank of my vehicle.
SUV.
I don't want to mention it.
Yeah.
But you're still paying people 30,000. And you say you're making promise. 5 months after you're declared president, you're making promise. Why didn't you make promise to remove the first subsidy and leave the subsidy until these things are in place? Why is it that when you need to punish Nigerians, it doesn't exist in promises? You now know how to act. But when you need to make the palliatives, it's existing in promises. This is manipulative dictatorship.